Hi, I'm Nicole, and you're watching Web3 on Phoenix Crypto TV 44.6. You're about to see an interview that I conducted with Calvin Ayre the same day that I met with Craig Wright. So, Calvin Ayre is a controversial billionaire who created Bodog, the gambling website. He's also Craig Wright and BSV's biggest supporter. Let's find out what he had to say. I'm Nicole with CCN, and I'm here today with Calvin Ayre from the CoinGeek Scaling Conference in Toronto. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me today.
Thank you.
My first question is just about sort of what attracted you to the blockchain crypto space in the first place.
I started investing actually when it first came out, just sort of dabbling, and so I was tracking it, but I didn't really get really deep into it till I was introduced to Craig Wright in 2015. And I was introduced by Stephen Matthews, who knew Craig back in 2008. They were working together on a gaming project. All three of us have a background in the gaming industry. And Stephen knew that Craig was Satoshi Nakamoto before it was publicly well known like it is now. And I relished the opportunity to meet him, and he was able to connect the dots on how the industry really worked. And it's good that he's gotten control of the narrative again and has Bitcoin SV to demonstrate the true power of Bitcoin as it was originally birthed. And that's what this conference is all about, is really educating people. I think the information's out there, but a lot of people are still going through that awakening moment where they really understand the power of Bitcoin as it was born originally.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, would you say that transparency or bringing greater transparency to people is a major appeal of blockchain, or?
Transparency, could you rephrase your question? I'm not really following what you mean by transparency.
Let's see, openness, traceability?
Well, Bitcoin as invented by Craig is designed to be private but not anonymous. I think there's a middle ground where you can have privacy, but yet you can still have enforceability of laws and not allow people to hide behind, facades and commit crimes. But I don't really think about it from a perspective of transparency. I believe Bitcoin, as originally invented and designed, is going to be a perfect tool to be the everything chain, where we can make global money. We can also run the metanet. We can create a process of valuing data. We can have commerce between machines, and probably things that nobody at this conference can even think about right now. But I mean, I just think it's an immensely powerful piece of technology, and I think it's really good that it's finally getting its ability to show itself.
Okay, thank you. So a couple questions about some things that came up with the Andrew O'Hagan piece, and I know that Craig has already told me that a lot of that was fabricated.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of questions about your involvement with EITC Holdings.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and Robert McGregor.
Yeah.
Is he employed by Nchain, or does he still work for any of your companies?
Yeah, you're going to have to talk to Nchain about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I just have one more question, and that is, why is it, now we'll just take the Craig is Satoshi claim for what you've said it is, and say, so why is it that other coins couldn't scale to compete with BSV? Now, I'll concede Satoshi founded Bitcoin and wrote the white paper, but why couldn't another cryptographer or team take over and create an even better scalable blockchain?
Yeah, well, theoretically they could, but the problem is that nobody's even trying to scale. My read on the industry right now is that most people on other platforms either don't know how to scale or don't actually appreciate why it's even necessary. Certainly what they say publicly leads me to believe that nobody actually even understands the value of scaling, but I suspect some of that is just them covering over for the fact that they actually don't know how to do it. But I don't know, you'd have to actually ask them that question to get a true answer. But from my perspective, what they're doing is almost irrelevant, because BSV is gapping the other platforms so massively right now, and with its existing roadmap is going to gap so much more, that I believe that within the next 24 months that pretty much everything happening on the other platforms is going to be absorbed into Bitcoin SV. That's the way I see the trajectories all lining up right now.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you so much for talking with me today.
You're welcome.
So that was Calvin Ayre and why he's extremely enthusiastic about BSV's future. A few things I'd like to note, though. When I ask him if transparency is important, he asks me to rephrase that question. So instead, I ask if openness and traceability are important. And first, it's important that you know the definition of transparency. So the Business Dictionary defines transparency as a lack of hidden agendas or conditions, accompanied by the availability of full information required for collaboration, cooperation, and collective decision-making, which is an essential condition for a free and open exchange whereby the rules and reasons behind regulatory measures are fair and clear to all participants. Since I didn't say exactly that in the interview, I won't hold him to whether or not that's what he meant when he said the transparency wasn't that important. Instead, I'll say he said openness and traceability. He responded to the question saying, Bitcoin, as invented by Craig, was designed to be private but not anonymous. I think there's a middle ground where you can have privacy, but yet you can still have enforceability of laws and not allow people to hide behind facades and commit crimes. But I don't really think about it from a perspective of transparency. Now, I'm noting this specifically for the BSV community, with whom I've had many heated debates over BSV and Craig Wright on social media over the last few days since I posted the interview with Craig. Now, I said that the KYC and AML entities are the true criminals who people need anonymity and privacy from, to which many BSV devotees have agreed, saying full transparency for their economic activities will shed light on government and corporate misdeeds. But it won't if there's no transparency, right? Or if transparency isn't an important condition? I'm not sure. I'm asking because I'm curious. So next I asked about Calvin's relationship with EITC Holdings, and he says he's never heard of them. But that seems suspicious to me since Nchain, which Calvin references in my next question, used to be named EITC Holdings. And Craig Wright filed over 50 blockchain-related patents under the name EITC Holdings. Additionally, EITC Holdings is registered in Antigua, the island nation to which Mr. Ayre is an ambassador. So it's also noteworthy to say that employees of Nchain are largely unknown. The company has even stated that their employees do not carry business cards, nor are they permitted to identify Nchain as their employer on LinkedIn. And that all seems just a little bit strange, and it makes me wonder, what is it that they need to hide? Finally, for those who might be new to the crypto blockchain space, I just want to let you know who Robert McGregor is. Robert McGregor was a key character in Andrew O'Hagan's 2016 piece, The Satoshi Affair. McGregor was the CEO of Encrypt, which later became EITC Holdings, which later became Nchain. So at the end of the story, McGregor told O'Hagan that he was done with Encrypt, Wright, Ayre, and the lot. But there's some recent evidence to suggest that McGregor is still employed by Nchain. I don't know the answer to that question. Ayre didn't give it to me. Nchain did not respond to my request for comment, and I have not been able to track down Robert McGregor. So that's all I know. And thanks for watching Web3. Have a great day.